We're going to go through the next 20 minutes just relaxing, taking some big deep breaths, moving very gently through some mobility, through the big joint structures, through the muscles and the fascia. So I want you to lay flat, take some big deep breaths, pushing that belly button down into the ground, drawing that breath up into the lower back and into the rib cage, and try for around 5 or so big deep belly breaths here. Then I want you to gently start moving your knees, bending from the knee, and then add a little bit more force into that, pushing the shin down on the ground, eventually turning that into a kick, like a little kid having a tantrum on the ground. Getting back into that release mode, releasing the stress, breathing deeply through that belly. We're then going to move into a child's pose, coming up, whatever's comfortable for you. You don't have to go into a low position, you can choose whatever's comfortable. We're going to switch between the two, from a low position here, and then moving up onto the forearm, sticking the bottom up in the air. Big deep breath, then back down into that lower child's pose. Then take the left arm over the right, continue in that child's pose, just stretching out the side of the body, add a little bit of movement through the hips. Try cat-cow those hips and you'll get a nice stretch down through the side. Repeat on the opposite side, right arm comes over the left. Little movements through those hips. It's quite an intense stretch here. Coming back through to the center, moving through your shoulder blades, squeezing them together, pushing them apart, and then coming down to the pelvis, adding a few pelvic cat-cows or tilts before moving the hips side to side like you're wagging a tail. You're then going to turn the entire body, keeping the knees where they are, turn your body to the left and start doing some nice big circles. Drawing circles with the hips, once again is going to stretch out all of that side of the body. Reverse those circles through the hips. We're aiming for around 5 circles one way, 5 the other, before changing sides, reaching over to the right. 5 big circles one way. You'll feel this big stretch down the lower back into the QLs, into the side of the body, breathing deeply through that tension. And then coming back through to the center, just wiggling the entire body from side to side. A few more big cat-cows here, getting some mobility and movement in that spine. Before coming to sit in a cross-legged position. If cross-legged is not comfortable for you, choose a position that you feel at ease and can relax in. We're just trying to get some circles through that lower back whilst in this open hip position, sitting cross-legged. This is going to create some movement through our lymphatic system, deep in that groin where we hold a lot of lymph nodes. So we're aiming to do around 10 circles one way and then 10 circles the other before opening the legs and hips wider. Here we're going to move through the windscreen wiper, but adding a stretch in between. So stretching over that lead leg, coming back through to the center, switching sides, and then stretching down again over that lead leg. Breathing nice and deeply as those hips open. We're coming back through the center and just working on the hips going side to side. Moving those joints in 180 degrees, getting some synovial fluid into the hip joints, plus working that lymphatic system as well. Bringing the feet together, grab onto the feet, and you're just going to move the body however feels comfortable for you. I'm kind of swaying from side to side here. You can do circles, you can sit up and stretch nice and tall. This is a moment for you just to listen to your body and how it wants to move. Then you're going to start wiggling through the knees and rotating through your wrists at the same time. Getting some connection into that body, into that brain. From here, I'm going to get you to stretch your legs out in front of you. And then just start moving the thighs, slamming the thighs down on the ground, creating some movement and some sensation so we know, or we're telling the brain we want to move or stretch through the legs here. Then you're going to reach forward and start pointing your toes and then flexing your feet. This is going to engage, elongate, and floss the nerves through the sciatic, creating some relaxation through those immobile nerves. From here, just place one foot over the other to gain some height and start doing some ankle circles. Nice, big, gentle loops through that foot, which will help create that flush or push up from the lymphatic system, plus create that pump in the calf muscle, helping push the blood flow back up to the heart. And then from here, I want you to lay down, grab onto the knees, and you're going to start opening and closing through the hips. Big, deep circles through those hips. We're aiming for around 10 circles one way before reversing 10 circles the other way. Take your time here, big, deep breaths. Relax that back. So the next sequence you're going to do is you're going to open the legs, then straighten the legs. Open in the side, and then straighten. So this is going to create a little bit of movement through that lower back, but also through the hips as well. Working what feels comfortable for you, and then we're going to just go straight into the rocks through the back. So straightening out the legs, rocking the lower half of the back up into the air. Just move gently here, wherever feels comfortable for you. You don't have to move as much as I'm moving here. We're then going to circle the knees in the air like an egg beater through a pool. So circling those knees, creating some mobility and movement and synovial fluid in the knee joints. Straightening out the legs, circling through the ankles. 5 circles one way, 5 circles the other way. And then I want you to take a nice big deep back stretch here. So bringing the left leg over the top of the right, looking over the left shoulder, breathing nice and deeply. You're going to start circling that left arm, big deep circles, whilst in that stretch. This is going to create some movement in the shoulder, but also all the way through that back, helping release that back tension. You're aiming for about 5 circles one way, 5 circles the other. From here, laying back through to the center and then switching sides. Right leg comes over the top of the left, right arm is outstretched, looking over that right shoulder. Big deep breath into the right hip, trying to breathe that belly out into the top of your pants. And then you're going to start taking that right shoulder into some big deep circles. I always like to keep the palm of my hand facing up, the whole circle. Change directions. Coming back through to the center here, take both knees over to the right, then kick out that left leg over the top. Bring it back to the center, both knees to the left, kick out that top leg, stretch it out. Do this a few more times. This creates a beautiful long lengthening stretch through the hamstrings, the lower back. Then coming back through the center, just moving the knees from side to side here. Remember, our hips are the area that hold emotion. They hold stress, they hold strain. So we've got to get our hips moving to unlock that energy. Let it flow through the rest of your body. From here, you're going to bring your knees up into your chest. Feel your lower lumbar on the ground and just massage that spot gently into the ground. Trying for about 5 rotations one way before reversing and 5 rotations the other. This is where taking that big deep belly breath, recentering that energy, and then coming to sit back up for me in a cross-legged position. We're going to start gently rotating through the neck here. If we are under any strain or stress, the brain will lock up the cervical region, the neck region. So we've got to start to get some nice slow movement happening in that neck. Gentle circles, take it slow. If you feel dizzy, slow it down even more. We're then going to start to move through the shoulders. These are called camshafts, so you want to squeeze your shoulders up towards your ears and then push your shoulders away and down. Do that a few times here. You can do that however is comfortable for you, with your legs outstretched or your legs in a cross-legged position. Remember, any time of movement or stretching like this needs to be in a relaxed state. So we're going to do our next little routine here. Grabbing onto the forearms, you're going to push forward, hunching the back, and then squeeze the shoulder blades to stretch up into the air. So starting again, pushing and hunching as you stretch forward into that cross-legged position, coming to sit back up, squeezing the shoulder blades to stretch up those arms into the air. Come back to center, push forward, hunch the back, lean forward. Come back to center, squeeze, shoulder blades stretch up into the air. And then we are going to rotate, sitting up nice and tall with the spine, just moving the arms side to side, moving that entire spine side to side. Your arms could be outstretched or bent through the elbows, however's comfortable for you. Then taking a nice stretch over to the side, bringing your left arm over to the right thigh, stretching and turning as far as you can. You can either do this with your legs outstretched or your legs in that cross-legged position. Choose what's comfortable for you. A few more side to side swivels, and then taking that right arm to the left leg, nice big stretch out to the left side. Breathing deeply. Coming back through to the center, it's time to stand up. Do it nice and slowly, get your bearings. You might feel a little lightheaded. Stand with your feet planted on the ground and take some big, deep, slow breaths, just to get that center of gravity nice and stabilized. From here, you're going to start swirling those hips, hula hooping those hips, getting some movement in the hip joints, creating some motion in that lower back. You can close the eyes here to engage the vestibular and change directions through those hips, creating some balance point in the brain. You're then going to come and stand up straight, reaching down with the left arm down to the left side, feet together. Then reach forward and then reach your right arm down to the right side. So this creates a bit of a circle, this motion. So it's left arm down, stretch forward, right arm to the side, stretch back. It's creating a nice kind of square circle. And then change directions, getting that side to side bend happening before leaning forward. Coming back through to that center, we're going to start circling through the shoulders, but creating a bit of an S shape through that spine. So as you circle through the shoulder blades, you take that circle all the way down the spine like a wave of energy. We're going to try and do about 5 one way, then repeat 5 the other. Getting nice and floppy through the spine, getting some movement. Then start circling through the shoulders, standing up nice and tall. We're going to create some range of motion through these shoulder blades. Then bring your arms behind the body. You're going to keep the thumbs facing down as you stretch the arms out to the side. Then switch those thumbs to facing up and bring behind your head. From here, you're twisting the body from side to side about 6 times. Nice big deep breathing as you twist through that spine, keeping the arms on your head. Then you'll take those hands off from the head, thumb facing up, reverse thumb facing down, and then come back behind the body and repeat this move. This is going to create some beautiful opening up through the shoulder joints, through the spine as we twist from side to side. Coming back through the center. We're then going to try and do that a little bit differently. We're going to go thumbs facing down, reverse thumbs facing up behind the head. Now stretch your arms up. Do a circle to get back to that starting position behind your back. Thumbs down, stretching out, thumbs up, behind your head, reaching up, and then doing a circle behind the body. We're going to do that a few more times. You're then going to start stretching out your toes. So stretching, flicking those toes over on the mat, stretching out the feet, really important for the brain, really important to unlock the rest of the body. And we're going to do the same with the wrists and the hands. So palm facing down, fingers facing down, rotate through the wrist, stretching out that forearm. Opposite side. This creates some mobility through the wrists, which your coupling joint to the wrist is the ankle. And then what I want you to do is bring your fingers together and push with resistance, opening and stretching up the hands, opening the fingers, and closing them back down. A few more of those. Bring the hands behind the back, stretch out, lean forward. Gently move the neck from side to side, if that feels okay to do so, or you can nod the head, which is going to engage those nerves. Gently roll yourself back up, and you're going to do a little bit of a Qigong swing. So you swing your arms and try and hit the back of your palm into the kidney zone, into the lower back. This creates some energy, creates movement through the whole body, creates qi. We are then going to create some sensation through the body, enhancing the brain. So we're going to touch the hips, circling and bringing in some movement and some warmth on the hips, touching through the thighs, bringing in sensation through the thighs and the hamstrings, down to the calf muscles and the shins. And then we're going to go down to the feet. So in between each of your toes, get your fingers and pull the energy up from your feet, up your shins and into your thighs. This will not only create a pull of energy up the body, but will also help the lymphatic drainage, as that starts in the reflexology point in between your toes and your feet. So draw or help pull up that lymph, up into the inner thigh here, the outer thigh, shins and outer thighs, drawing that up. Then come to the belly and start lifting the skin upwards towards your chin, creating a little bit of movement through the tummy. Got lots of chi points here, lots of drainage points, that sensation in the brain. Come up through the armpit. This is where your lymphatic system drains into, the axillary points. Come up through the armpit, up into the arm from the side of the body. Change sides. From the hip, drawing that sensation up the side of the body into the armpit, helping drain that lymphatic system. And then down the neck. You want to be doing this gently, a soft touch, down through the neck, into those axillary points. And then tapping just under the clavicles, under the collarbones, and on top of the heart. Just gentle taps here. This is going to help that central nervous system relax. It's going to bring more awareness into the brain, to the body-brain connection. And then we're going to tap gently all over the head. So as soft as you can, just little pitter-patters with your fingers, creating sensation from the jaw, the eyes, the scalp, getting connected into the body. Such a nice relaxation move, this one. Help detoxify the body, release the stress. And then place your hands over your eyes, taking some big, deep breaths, covering your eyes in darkness, allowing your body to relax and surrender. Then I want you to start opening and closing your jaw, getting the tension out of your jaw, circling your jaw. Try and circle that jaw in and out, side to side. And then we're starting to just let that energy flow through the body. Shake it all out. Move however you want to move. Slam the heels down on the ground, jiggle yourself out, move that energy. And then relax, taking a big deep breath in and out. Recentering your body, recentering your mind, and know that today this movement has helped you release stress, sickness, sadness, and your body thanks you for it.